like, oh, I don't know how to use Blab. It's all going horribly wrong. But I think we're there now. I think we've just about got it working. Oh, there you are. Oh, whoops, no. I'm searching my email. Oh, Diana, let's do it this way.
Okay.
Let's just tell us about what you're doing at the moment and where you are with your business and what you would like to do with it.
Okay. Well, that was kind of what I sent you the email about, that I'd like to scale up the business.
Okay.
Because right now, the last month or two, I have been getting payouts that are a lot smaller than they were. But I've been doing things a little differently. My recent payouts have been in the like $300 range, whereas over summer, they were more in the $800 range. And part of that, I think, is I was selling a lot of books and a lot of textbooks, and a lot of the textbooks are higher dollar textbooks. And I think that really made a big difference in my payouts. And so when summer came to an end and school started up and the textbooks started to die out, I started to think maybe I should be buying other things to send in to FBA. And so that's what I did. I moved away from the used books, which I still have some sources for used books. And I started to do more RA. I started to do more, I did bundling. And so that's kind of where it stands right now. It's just kind of really gone down a lot. And I think it's just losing those big textbook sales and I've started other things, but I haven't really gotten those things going. And I don't really have a plan. And I think that's one of my big problems. I don't have a plan. I know what I want to do, and that is to get my payouts up to at least $3,000 a month, because I don't want to go back to a real job after my sister doesn't need my help anymore starting in April. And I would like to just continue on with Amazon, and I'm going to need the income to help me do that, and not go back to work. Because this is work, but it's cool.
Sure.
I think you're in the same boat as a lot of people because I've done the same thing myself, sort of buying a lot of books, and then you try doing RA and you do bundles, and you do a little bit of everything. And I think it's very easy to feel just like you're always running around and totally running in circles.
Yes, so that's exactly it.
My question to you is, what do you enjoy the most? What do you enjoy doing? Do you enjoy the books? Do you enjoy the retail? What kind of engages you the most?
I think that I really enjoy finding things that aren't on Amazon already, or things with very little other people selling. Like if I find something that isn't on there yet, I enjoy like getting it in the catalog, like, and I recently started going to Marshall's and Ross, where I didn't used to do those places. And I think those would be good places to get new things for the catalog. But I'm not sure what to get. And then also, I like to find things at the Dollar Tree. That to me is like, wow, I found it for $1 and I can sell it for 10. That's like so cool. The bundles, I'm kind of on the fence. Like there's some of my bundles have done well and some not well at all. And I'm not sure if, I just need maybe more practice at it or whatever, but I'm not sure I really enjoy it either. So there's parts of it that I like and parts that I don't care for. But recently I started using someone to edit the photos for me, and that's made a big difference for me, because that was one part I really didn't like. So
that's a really good idea, to get someone else to do the images for you, and then you can work on the listing and do the do enjoy. And I think that's great that you identified like putting products in the catalog, because I think that's where you do two things with that. You can have the big margins, and you kind of lose the competition when you rather than just piggybacking on everyone else's.
Right.
So I think that's a really cool idea. I've got a couple of thoughts on this. One is Marshalls is a great place to source, because you can also hit TJ Maxx. And I don't know, what area do you live in? Do you live in like a very rural area or kind of a city or?
Okay. Well, I actually live in Arkansas, but I live about 3.5 hours from where I'm at during the week. Like right now, I'm at my sister's in it's Hernando, Mississippi, which is right outside of Memphis. And she does have a lot of shopping places to shop. And I do have access to those places. And I also have time. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are pretty much my days for Amazon, and my days I can do anything that I want to do. So I have 3 full days of the week, and I have shops available. It's not a huge area, but there are a few. There are a couple of Marshalls and a couple of other stores like that. Just got a Hobby Lobby. She just got a new mall with like Michael Kors and big stores like that in it. So there's some shopping.
Yeah, I think it's really good that you said like you have a routine, that you have certain days that you can go and shop. And that's something I found like really helpful, to be like disciplined about what day you go shop and where you go, and to kind of have a routine. And so it's like, okay, I hit this store, this store, this store. And one thing I found is if you kind of get into that routine, even if one day you have kind of a slow day, it's like you can you know that the next week or the next day it's gonna bring you more consistency. And I think that's something that is kind of an issue with payouts. It's like you need to consistently source, and I think it can be easy to get disheartened and to be like, okay, I didn't find anything today, so I'm having a really hard time sourcing. Whereas if you have that routine of, okay, I didn't find much today, but I'm going to go tomorrow and I'm going to keep sourcing, you kind of almost force the magic to happen and to find something.
Yes.
I think that's something really good.
So I have a question. Where are you going? You mentioned earlier that books, you've made the most margins, the highest margins with books.
Yes.
Where are you sourcing at for your books?
There's a Goodwill outlet where the books are 50 cents on a dollar.
Hey.
And then there is a Goodwill bookstore where they actually check the book prices on Amazon before they price them. So it's a little more difficult, but they don't price it. I mean, they still leave a lot of room for reselling.
Cool.
So I pay a lot more for books there, but I get good books there. Like, you know, if you're going to have a $100 textbook, it's okay to pay $10 or $20 for it.
So I got to ask, you mentioned that you've noticed your most profits came from the book, and you said it's kind of slowed down. Has the number of books that you sent in slowed down, or it just happens that your books aren't selling right now?
Isaac, I think I did slow down on sourcing the books, and I feel like what happened was I quit selling the big dollar textbooks, and then immediately after that happened, I kind of lost interest in sourcing books in general. About, I would say probably September was the last time I sourced books, any books.
And
until
I think
today.
That's kind of normal. Oh,
I went today.
That's awesome. I think it's kind of normal to have that ebb and flow of where you source. Like I find it's kind of seasonal. Sometimes you go hunting at yard sales. Sometimes you focus more, like especially when it's like Christmas coming up. It's really easy to create listings now and go to. I mean, like I looked in the local dollar stores and they've got literally hundreds and hundreds of items for Christmas. And I know like Marshalls and TJ Maxx are the same, that you can just create. Do you just FBA or do you merchant fulfill as well?
So far, I've only FBA. I don't know. I'm on the fence about merchant fulfilled because I love that you just send all of it in at one time and you don't have to keep checking, do I need to go to the post office today? Like years ago, I did the eBay thing and it's like constantly, do you have to go to the post office? So that's one thing I like about FBA is you don't have that. So
yeah,
I agree with you. I mean, the reason I asked is I know some people now, just because the sales volume coming in is starting to get so high, that some people are doing merchant fulfilling just because they can really meet that sales volume, especially with new listings. Like, for example, like Marshalls have things like cookie sets or tea sets that are very Christmassy and very, you know they're going to sell very fast. Especially when they're sort of branded or themed or licensed, like a Star Wars, I don't know, a Star Wars mug and cocoa, things like that tend to sell very, very fast. So there can be a strategy now before Christmas in creating listings for things that you know will be very, very popular, like branded or licensed products or gift sets, and then just selling those quickly, merchant fulfilling and flipping them. But I agree with you that I'm not a big fan of merchant fulfilling, but I'm kind of putting that there as a strategy to just maybe like sort of speed up the retail process, the retail arbitrage process.
Yes.
And another thought, have you looked at, I guess, where are we now? It's December now, so we're probably starting to think more longer term or towards Valentine's Day is going to be coming really, really soon. So I don't know. I think one thing I would be thinking about now maybe is kind of romantic gifts, because they might sell for Christmas and they're going to take you through to Valentine's Day and even like Mother's Day as well. So I might be thinking of things like I don't know, even things like slippers or sort of sweet sort of, I don't know, that's another question. What are you ungated for? What categories are you interested in selling?
I just, when they kind of opened it up over the last month or two, I've gotten ungated in a lot of stuff.
That's
so
awesome.
I already had grocery done. So I have that, and I have shoes, clothes, just watches, just about everything. Just not the really hard big ones, but everything else I have. So, and I was going to tell you, I do enjoy sourcing groceries. Some of the candy that I've sent in for Christmas is doing well, and I like doing that. I like finding food. Is that weird?
No, not at all.
Especially this time of year, it's awesome. I mean, candy is flying off the shelves. It's a good thing to start Christmas.
Yeah, I think it's fun to find things in the grocery aisle for some reason. And I tried to find some grocery in Dollar Tree, but I didn't really see anything. I haven't found anything there.
I found candy can be kind of a hidden gem in Dollar Tree, especially things like gold coins. I found are really good this kind of year, and a lot of things like that. I wonder about doing maybe variety packs of candy as well. That might be an option there. You mentioned you were ungated in things like watches and shoes. You know, one thing I might suggest is, what about if you have sort of certain days for sourcing? What about going and exploring a particular category? Like dedicating some time to do that. So like, if you have Ross and Marshalls, perhaps you could go and say, okay, I'm going to go and check out all the watches. I'm going to go and check out all the shoes, and just kind of like put that discipline in your mind. So, okay, I'm going to go and try this for a couple of hours.
I like
and
that.
See if I can find any, because I think with watches, particularly like watches and luggage, I think are two of the most under like sold categories. People just don't sell much in those. Like, I think they're very popular categories with buyers, but sellers aren't selling a lot in watches. And luggage is another one, but just because it's been hard to get ungated for luggage, now it's easy, but coming up to now, it's been hard to get ungated for luggage. So a lot of sellers have never bothered getting ungated for it, because you needed pictures and flat files. So that might be another category, especially if you have access to Marshalls and TJ Maxx and Ross. I know those kind of products can be really, really good there. And what you're kind of looking for is like things that are really eye-catching, or again, like the license, the branded. Wow, I like Bob saying he's selling Versace gold watches for $1,500.
Hey,
wow, Bob.
awesome.
Oh,
He's high rolling.
awesome.
But I'm hearing watches are doing well. That's kind of a popular category at the moment. And I know people give watches as gifts a lot as well. Jewelry seems to be harder. People seem to have a hard time with jewelry. I've noticed like people do okay with jewelry if it's bundled and if it's with a very specific audience specific gift, like children's jewelry with candy or something like that. But jewelry is a hard sell on the whole. But watches seem to be popular at the moment. They seem to be an easy thing to sell at the moment.
I looked at watches, but I was like, do people buy watches? I don't even know.
I say that with everything. I say that with everything we sell. People actually buy this.
Really? Well, I like that idea, Catherine, of going shopping for a category rather than like a set of like a store. Like instead of going, okay, I'm gonna go all over Walmart. Instead,
it can be overwhelming. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna try that for sure. Just pick a category and go shopping for that, and then I can just go in the store, look at that category, and move on, and then just hit it and keep going.
Yay! It sounds like you have a plan, Diane.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and coming on our very first show.
Being our first guest.
First guest.
Yay! Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate
Have
y'all.
a great day, Diane.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, okay. There she goes. Whoa, that was Diana. She was awesome. Hi, Isaac.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there was a delayed reaction there. So I don't know if Ashley made it. Ashley, are you here? If you're here, please shout out in the chat, because I think Ashley was supposed to be on, but she might not be able to make it. She emailed me that she was having a hard time getting on. And Jordan, if you're here, can you give me a shout out? Because Jordan's supposed to be coming on as well. But I think people are having a hard time with figuring out Blab at the moment. But that's okay. It's a new platform. We're all kind of figuring it out as we go. That was awesome. I really like this format. I think this can work. Not sure about the platform. We need to get used to Blab. But I think this can work. I like... Oh, there's Jessie. Hi, Jessie. How are you doing? Cool. So I have... shall we look at some of the questions that we have? Because I have a long list of questions here, and I don't think we're going to be able to answer all of them, but we can have a go at some of them. So I don't know who we've got here, but we've got... let's start with Tina. Tina Lambert asked a question. Tina is a lovely, lovely lady. She contacted me the other day, and she said, remember we talked to her at ASD, and she was kind of starting out at ASD. And I know she worked with some people. She worked with us a little bit. She worked with Cheryl Brightman, who is an amazing lady. We love Cheryl. And she got back to me about a week ago and said she's doing really, really well. Her bundles are selling, her new products are selling, and she's doing really well with FBA. So we were super happy for Tina. She's a good friend to us, to the show, to the groups. So yay, Tina. I want to answer her question. So this is what Tina said. She said, my question is time management. I don't feel I have time to do my Amazon lessons and videos, research products, and source. So she's taking a lot of courses at the moment. And she says, sometimes I wonder if I'm making the best choices. I feel if I had more knowledge from lessons, I could be sourcing better. So and then she says, it's a crazy merry-go-round I'm on. So I think what she's talking about here is like information overload. Yeah. Is that what it sounds like to you? Like, to me, that sounds like information overload. And we know there are a lot of courses out there. There's a lot of classes, a lot of lessons. And it's like free, there's free classes, there's free videos, there's books, and you know, guys, this week I kind of put a stop in the group and I said, okay, I'm not going to put any more outside links to books or groups or courses in the groups, just because it's getting really overwhelming. There's like a new book out every week. There's a new course out, and
I think more importantly, like, and someone just nailed it in the comments here, is there's just too many options, and there's too many forks in the road. You can go in so many different directions. It's overwhelming, and you want to learn everything you can so that whatever direction you choose is going to be the best one, because you can't afford to fail. So I think there's you kind of freeze up where you're not really sure where to go.
Yeah, and a few people are saying that. They're saying it's paralysis by analysis. So my thinking, the Maximizer asked what groups. We have, our main group is called Treasure Hunting with Catherine. It's on Facebook. We also have one called Blue Sky, which is about private label and white label, creating your own products. And that's another great point. We are afraid to fail. So there's a couple of things I can think about this. The first is, I think it's a really good idea to take your time, especially with Amazon, to learn the platform. The problem with Amazon is that you don't get many chances to fail badly with Amazon, because there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of policies. But at the same time, I think you have to experiment to learn. So my suggestion to anyone, and this isn't to Tina because I know she's a bit further on from this, but my first suggestion is read the policies on Amazon. Before you do anything else, just Google Amazon policy, Amazon selling policy, and read through the basics. Just get the kind of gist of what customers are like, what Amazon customers are like, and what Amazon wants you to do. And the first thing to remember is that any customer on Amazon is Amazon's customer. You need to make Amazon happy. And I think that's the first thing I would say to anyone. Read Amazon's policies. Yeah. Then make a very small shipment. Try selling a couple of very simple, straightforward products. Books are a great place to start, like something like kitchenware or home products, maybe board games, maybe unopened Christmas presents, but just very simple things. Start with a very small shipment and just try it as you go. And join a group. Come and join our group, join Bob's group, join a group where you can get some help and ask questions, and it's a friendly environment where you're able to ask questions. Now, I think Tina's a bit further on from that, and I think she's taking several courses. I think she's watching a lot of videos, and the problem I see is particularly that there's like courses for everything at the moment. And they're like, okay, you should be doing bundles, you should be doing private label, you should be making t-shirts, you should be partnering with people, you should be going to local companies and talking to them and working with them, you should be like, it's crazy, you should be flipping books, you should, like, it's all over the shop. You cannot work like that. That can't be your business model. Like, oh, shiny thing, oh
yeah,
and I do it all the time. We kind of do that. We're pretty bad for that. This morning we were like, oh, we should make a video game. Okay, this is how our video game works.
Yeah, and, ADD.
Yes. So yeah, it was kind of, you can't be too ADD at some point. And I think this kind of leads on from what we were talking about with Diana, is that at some point you need to kind of give yourself a schedule. You need to give yourself a little bit of discipline, and not like, you're not like, yes, you're naughty. No, it's not that kind of thing. It's more, I think you're just looking at me so blankly.
Oh, I'm listening.
But I think what you need is to kind of schedule a little bit and say, okay, today I am going to spend an hour doing this thing. And I know there's like the Hourglass thing. I've forgotten what it's called. Someone will tell me. But there's a thing where you set an hourglass and you say, okay, I'm going to work on this problem until the hourglass turns over.
You know, there's so many tricks. Everyone, I mean, you got the 20-80 rule where, you know, you look at, was it 80% of what needs to be done, you end up doing 20% of the time. So you focus on that 20% and just do that bit and then reverse or continue the process. You following me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, some people write things down. Some people, I've heard they do like audio messages and they listen to their audio notes because some people, they
And
work
that's a
better
good point.
audio.
Like, what kind of learner are you? Are you a visual
Exactly.
learner?
I think her other concern from reading the comments, if I remember, was how do you balance taking a course and working, applying what you're learning at the same time.
Right.
You can only absorb so much information. Some people can absorb more, and then our days go up and down. Some days we're like super awesome, and we're like in the Matrix, just downloading everything.
That's true. Some
Other days we have these like brain fogs, and like don't even talk to me because I can't think. I can't talk today. So I would say just split it up and limit yourself. Don't try to learn everything at once. And obviously you have to work. If you can afford to stop and focus on taking courses and writing things down, do so. But you're going to get the most value out of a course when you apply what you're learning.
Okay, so I think, and I know Bobby asked as well, she said other people who are working full time. And I think that's another challenge. So I think it's very much, you need to figure out your time management. And I think you need to prioritize. And it's kind of like you said, the 80-20 rule. You need to prioritize what your goals are. And I think what I would say is look at what courses you're taking. Which one is most important to you? And I would do it in two ways. I would say, what is making you money right now? Yep. What are you doing that is currently making you money? Okay, do more of that. Schedule time for that because you need to make money now. You need your cash flow right now. But also, what is going to make you money in the future? Like, what is your long-term goal? And for example, I might say, okay, right now, I'm making money selling secondhand books. Like used books are making me money. I get a regular payout like from books. That's making me money. Great. I need to spend time to keep doing that. So I will schedule Saturday mornings. I will go and buy books and then I will list them. And that's my Saturday. But I know that that for me might not be a long time goal. That might only be a short time goal. So I'm going to say, okay, what in the long term do I want to be doing? Okay, I want my own product. So then I need to figure out what my steps are to get to that goal. Okay, I want to take a course in private label or white label or T-shirts or books or like whatever it is I want to create. And I think you have to prioritize. So what's making you money right now? Work on that and look at what's going to make you money in the future. And spend the time taking that class, learning it, and then putting it into practice. And I think it's just a matter of being very disciplined about your time, scheduling what the time you want to work on things. Okay, this day is for making money right now. Tomorrow is my day for learning. And I always like the Google thing. I had a friend who worked for Google and he said like on Fridays, they were allowed to work on their own project. So Monday to Thursday, they had to do the boring bread and butter work, what they were told. And then on Fridays, that was like experiment day. You can work on something new. You can work on research and development. And I think applying that idea to your own business is a great idea. Spend your Monday to Thursday making money and growing what makes money right now. And then dedicate your Friday to like doing something new, doing something that you think is a big picture, blue sky plan. Yeah. Okay, there's am I missing questions? Guys, if you have a question you really want me to get to, put /Q in front of it and then it will come up hopefully for us as a big question. Okay, this is interesting. SD3 Design says, two-part question. What % of these e-com platforms are used by resellers versus product producers? And are we to assume there is a substantial income to be made as a reseller? It seems to me there are a lot of resellers, but only a few actually earn a living at it. That's a really good question. And I would say it is totally a sliding scale. And, you know, it's funny. I was going to post today, but I thought it was too obnoxious and I couldn't find a non-obnoxious way of saying it. But I was thinking today, like in January, I was all about teaching people to find treasure. It was all go treasure hunting, find treasure and resell it. I feel now my focus is moving more towards make your treasure, create treasure. And I think it's a sliding scale. I don't think it's like a one or the other thing. And I think it's kind of evenly matched. And SD3 Design, I don't know your name, but that's kind of where we've ended up. JP. Okay, so that's why I ended up making 2 groups. So we had treasure hunting and we had Blue Sky create a product, because we found that people were doing both. And some people are more focused on reselling, but want to make one product, like a coloring book, or I don't know, a T-shirt, or a gift wrap, or a gift tag, or any simple product. And other people just want to resell things. And the other thing you can do, I mean, we kind of got there through this very halfway house of bundles. So what we started doing was finding products to resell. And from there, we started bundling those products together, which is kind of creating a new product. It's almost like creating a gift pack. And that kind of took us into white label products. So we do a bit of all 3, really, the reselling, the bundles, the white label, and all 3 of them, you can make a living doing it. I made a living doing treasure hunting for 2 years. And this is all I do. So it's kind of, it's been, you can do all of it. Sorry, Isaac, go ahead.
Yeah, I was there's also a level of just like, you get this huge good feeling when you start applying your creativity to putting something together that's new and original, or something untapped. So that, I think that's was also part of the motivation. I mean, we started doing bundles and noticed that, it does give you a competitive edge. Your margins are higher. There are a lot of great things with bundles. But I think for us, we got like really excited. Like, whoa, wouldn't it be cool if we put, these really 2 items together and gave it a whole new meaning and sold it to a whole group of people who would never even consider buying these 2 items together.
It's true. And I think what I've loved seeing with bundles is just how excited people have been. Like, hey, I did it. I made some, like, I think the first time you make a listing on Amazon and then people start buying it is just this huge, exciting thing for a lot of people. Like, seeing your own product show up on the world's biggest marketplace is like, boom, it's a really huge moment. And I think it's been fun seeing that.
I remember the first thing, this was about like 3 years ago, you put together a gift basket. It was like an Easter gift basket. Now, it's not really a bundle because it was a gift basket, but you're learning the ropes at the time. And I remember I was at work. I had a day job. I'm a web developer. And she would send me Facebook messages and pictures. Look what I just put together. Oh my gosh, I put together this bag. I found all these cool products together. And it's like my Easter gift basket. It looked awesome. She put it together. She put a sweet bowl. She made about 30 of them. I remember, sent them into Amazon, and you got so excited when you sold your first one. It was like this, whoa, this aha moment.
Yeah, that was, I think what amazed me was how quickly they sold. Like, I sent in gift baskets and they just flew off the shelves. Doing Easter baskets was like this huge thing. And then I learned actually that, so I think you were breaking up a bit, Isaac, okay. So I'm just going to quickly say what you were doing. Isaac said he was talking about when I first started doing my own products, and I was kind of winging it with gift baskets. I'm not sure how compliant they were with Amazon's policies, but they sold really, really fast. And it was kind of an amazing moment just to see how quickly something you make could sell. Yeah. Now, by the way, guys, I wouldn't recommend doing gift baskets now for 2 reasons. One, they're a lot of work, and 2, they tend to be very difficult to pack and send in. So what I do now is I do Easter basket fillers. I do like filler bundles, and that works great. You do a basket stuffer or a stocking stuffer, and that's kind of what you do. You don't have to send the basket. You just put like the candy, the plush toy, the Easter eggs, or whatever it is in there.
Yeah, it's like when a car comes out with a prototype. The prototype's like the best thing ever, but then when it actually goes through the production line and the final version of it is slow, like trimmed down, because they had to make all kinds of design decisions for production.
Right.
She was up at 2 in the morning putting these little bows together.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's too much work. I like to do things that are more systematic now. I think building a system is and that's a good key to scaling up, which we'll probably talk about in more shows. Is building systems, because a lot of people say to me, actually, it's funny. I've heard this a couple of times. Don't make seasonal bundles. People say that to me all the time. Don't make seasonal bundles. It's not worth it. And it cracks me up because that's primarily what I do.
Yes,
and they rock. They rock. I love the seasonal bundles. And I'll tell you why. Because I can do like 40 or 50 listings in a season for a holiday. And it's a matter of just getting that system going. Take the pictures, take all your pictures at once. Just make a production line of all your products. Boom, picture, 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 picture. If you get them edited, send them all off to your editor in bulk. Get them all done. Or just work your way through them with photo fuse. Just work your way through those. And then, I'm sorry, AG Wolf says, why is it breaking up so much? I'm sorry. I think it's connections all around. So get your pictures, get them edited where you can, and then make your listings. And the thing is, once you get into like this sort of Zen routine of typing your listings, you can go fast. Cut and paste the keywords that work for you, post and be able to paste those into your listing. So for example, if I'm doing Christmas products, I might make a whole list of words that work for me for Christmas, like Christmas, Yule, holiday, season, snowman, Santa, red, whatever. And then I can cut and paste the ones that are relevant to my product into the listing really quickly. And you can make listings fast. I see people saying, oh, it takes 2 hours to make a listing properly. It takes, and I know like people are charging like hundreds of dollars for listings and saying, oh, to make a listing properly, you have to spend hours and hours on it. No, you don't. You need good keywords. You need a good photo. But once you've got your good keywords, your good photo, the other things are important, but then, and the title as well. Title is a really good one. But other than that, you can work pretty fast. It's just a matter of getting into a sort of systematic way of thinking with it. So I think seasonal bundles are awesome. I'm a big, big fan of seasonal bundles. And the other thing is you can kind of...
The zillion options is one of those methods that you can pursue, and, we know it works.
Yeah. So and I think you can repeat it each season as well. So for example, if you do candy in a jar for Christmas, you could do candy in a heart-shaped jar for Valentine's Day. Boom, you can do it for Easter. You can keep repeating the process. Yeah. Isaac, you've gone. I lost you, but there we go. So that's I'm rushing a little bit because we are running out of time pretty quickly.
So JJ asked if this show is just about reselling goods, or is it going to be also about makers?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Anything to do with reselling, e-commerce, creating products, marketing,
selling online in general.
Selling online, social media. We have so much to talk about, guys. We can talk Facebook ads. We can we can talk anything. We can talk Shopify, but we only have so much time. But we will be back next week to do this again because I think this is a really fun format. I like it. I want to hit Ceramic AD because she's awesome. She's such a nice lady, and I just wanted to give her a shout out. She said she couldn't make it to the show. But I would like to get her on as a guest. She said she'd be a guest one week, so I need to talk to her. But I just wanted to give her a shout out. She said she's just opened her Etsy shop, and she's building a ceramic and pottery shop. And she's working on getting ungated in Handmade in Amazon. Oh, and she just announced in the group that she had got ungated in Handmade. So that's pretty exciting. I was really pleased to hear that. So I'm hoping we can bring her on maybe next week or the following week. I just wanted to give her a shout out so she knew I hadn't forgotten her. But I think that would be something really interesting to talk about is Amazon Handmade. Marilyn actually had a really good tip on that. She said she talked to, and that's Marilyn Southmead in our groups. She said she talked to Amazon seller support about Amazon Handmade because she was creating her own products, And they actually told her she didn't need to be approved in Handmade to sell them, as long as she didn't use the word handmade, because she had some issue with her products because she was calling them handmade products. And they said, actually, it's fine for you to sell your products via FBA. And they advised her not to use handmade. They said handmade was more for hobby sellers.
Is this official, or is just like one rep telling her that? Will another rep tell her something different? Because,
that's a good question. That's a really good question. The sense she got from it is that Handmade is kind of to encourage Etsy sellers to sell on Amazon. So it kind of has more the standards of handmade products, so that people aren't expecting manufactured products. Mm-hmm. But they said that it's okay to sell handmade products through FBA. The caveats I would put on that, if you are thinking of selling your own products on FBA. Oh, and another reason is people might sell on Handmade because they don't want to bother with UPCs. So what I would say, if you're happy to buy UPCs, you can sell handmade products on FBA or on Amazon Marketplace, Merchant Fulfilled. But what you need to do is make sure your product is completely uniform. Every product has to look exactly like the picture. It has to look professional so people get it and go, wow, that's a great product. And it needs a UPC. So now, I would say...
I have a question for that. If it is handmade, for example, if you're painting something, sometimes with handmade, like mugs or something, there's slight variations.
I've seen your hand-painted mugs, Isaac. You should sell those.
Everyone is different. Everyone is unique. Their own way. They're special, and I give them unique names. So if does that work for Amazon, or does it need to be like a complete 100% clone?
You would have to create your own listing for each one.
Okay.
You would have to create your own list. If they're all different, you would have to create separate listings. Some people might say, you can put listing may vary or product may vary slightly. I wouldn't do that. I would create a new listing for each one. Okay. Or do it through Amazon Handmade. I feel that's kind of more geared for it. But FBA, you want to be going with very uniform products.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just look at other questions quickly. We got a lot of questions. I think we might have to come back to them next week. Margaret asked, actually we can get through this. Margaret asked, I'm trying to get my eBay business running, but I have MS and don't seem to find consistency. Have you any pointers? And this is an interesting one. I had another lady that I worked with and coached, and she had similar physical health issues going on. And I think it can be very difficult to run a business from home. And the problem is it's kind of a vicious circle, because if you have some health issues going on, you may have to work from home. But at the same time, it can be very, very difficult on both a physical and a mental level. If you don't know what your energy levels are going to be like each day, if you don't know what your health is going to be like each day, it can be a challenge. Twinkle Blazer's got a great suggestion. She says, buy online, have your items delivered to you. I think wholesaling is very important. Start looking at wholesalers. I think looking at customizing products can be a really good idea. Bob suggests joining a support group. That's another good idea. Jesse says, I've bought on eBay to sell on eBay in the past. It's very possible. And I think that's a great... there's a lot of opportunities actually with eBay. Look for things that have terrible listings or misspellings or bad pictures. There's a lot of scope. Buy lots. Look for lots. Junk drawer listings, like bundle listings on eBay, and then sell those separately. Kimberly's got an idea. Look at flash sales like Zulily or massive clearance sales at places like Nordstrom. I mean, that's the thing. You don't necessarily want to be going to rummage sales and sort of fighting people under the table in a church sale like I do. That's what I do all the time. I'm like, get out of my way, 80-year-old lady.
I'm the treasure hunter.
I'm treasure hunting here. Just ask Jeff Davidson. He's seen me in action. It's like, get out of my way. No, I don't do that. I'm lovely. But yeah, you probably want to focus more on online buying and kind of getting familiar with which stores have clearance. I mean, use the phone as well as another suggestion. Like call up stores around you, ask them if they've got particular sales going on. I had another thought, and then it went boom out my head.
Another thing you can try, if you have an item that you've been selling, maybe you're the only seller on the listing and you know where to find them at, see if you can contact the manufacturer and buy directly from them.
That's a really good idea, like source direct to the manufacturer. Bob suggests using a prep service for shipping. Jesse has a good one. He says use a creative route like coloring books. Hey, thanks for the plug for coloring books. I do have a course about how to make coloring books. I got to give a shout out to coloring books. People are rocking it with their coloring books at the moment. Like really doing well. People are doing some really cool niches with their coloring books. And what I'm finding really interesting with the coloring books is they're not targeting colorers. They're not doing mandalas and secret garden things. They're like Sean Murphy, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, he's done a wine county, coloring book, which is amazing because you can give that as a gift to wine lovers and they'll be like, ooh, you know about this coloring book phase. Oh, how funny. Maybe I'll try coloring. And it's like the first time they've ever tried coloring. But yeah, the coloring books are out of control at the moment. They're pretty fun at the moment. Jesse's got another idea. If you have the capital, you can pay people to source for you as well. So that's a pretty awesome idea. Like actually pay teams of people to go source for you. You're asking, can you really profit from that? I'm profit from what? From sourcing, from coloring books? There's a lot of ways. I think that's the thing. I think part of this whole business is having the mindset. Like I always say, treasure is everywhere. Treasure is everywhere. You can make money doing all kinds of things. You can source on, like there are two parts to the equation: where you source and where you sell. And I was going to say, guys, another thing I thought of. Look at places like swap.com. Look at yodel.com for buying. Because you can get things from there very, very cheap. Yodel, Swap, there's a few others.
Craigslist, the big one.
Craigslist. Oh my gosh, yes, Craigslist. Another thing, guys. One other thing: put ads on Craigslist. And you can put them out for all kinds of things like books. I don't know what else could you put ads out for? Electronics, old tech. Like use whatever you know. If you know video games, put an ad out for video games. Put an ad out for Legos. Old floppy disks, Legos. Boom! Like you can put an ad in Craigslist and get people to bring stuff to you. So there's a lot of ways of making money, even if you're stuck at home, even if you're stuck in bed. You can do things. Jesse says sell shirts and get a screen printer to fulfill the order. Jesse, I need you on the show really soon. We're kind of getting done for this week, but Jesse, you've got to come on as our guest coach because you have two. Jesse's like one of my secret weapons in this world. He's always got so many. He always messages me and says, "I've got a great tip for you. I've got an idea." I'm a big fan of Mr. Jesse Forbes. So, I think I had one other question. Oh, Rhonda sent me like 5 billion questions. I'm not kidding. She sent me like a list of questions, and I love Rhonda. She's an amazing lady. We met her at ASD and we had a big hug because she's such a lovely lady. And she had 2 questions that I picked out from the 8 that I think she sent me 9. So I picked out number 4 and number 8. So the first one was, going to ASD was great. Isaac's just left. He just walked away. What's with you, Isaac? You just leave. Oh, he's got no power. Okay, so she says, going to ASD was great, but it was overwhelming. Having a guest on that can share experiences. Oh, so she's interested about what... Okay, I'm going to save these for next week because these are really big questions, but they're awesome. She's asking what the ASD experience is like and what wholesale experience is like. and how to make the best of it. And someone actually asked that in the group last week as well. So I'm going to tackle that one next week because that's such a big question and an awesome one. And she's also asked, I'm going to answer this one. This is a good one. She says, wandering around a store and scanning is exhausting and time consuming for finding products to sell on FBA. And this is kind of actually, this is very like the last question we had, that she says going and scanning in stores for her is like finding a needle in a haystack. I suck at it. Do FBA sellers really find items to sell this way? Do you go in when you know there is a sale going on and then scan the area? You know, guys, I am not a big fan of scan all the things. And the more I do it, the more I go into stores and scan all the things, the more I'm like, oh, I hate doing this. This is a big waste of time. And I know this is controversial, and I know maybe Bob's shaking his head at me, and other people are going to shake their head at me, and Scanner Monkey are shaking their, like, I know people are going to be like, no, scan all the things. No, I don't like scanning. I hate scanning all the things. It sucks. Don't scan all the things. I'm going to leave that for you guys. The guys that like scanning all the things, you are welcome to scan all the things, but I am not scanning all the things. So don't do it, Rhonda. This is what I suggest. I say what Diana said, create listings. Go into a store, and here's what you do. Go to somewhere like Michael's that has like just, I don't know, 100 pendants hanging in front of you. And they all say Michael's, and you'll scan them. Not one of those will come up on Amazon's catalog. Maybe one will. And what you do is you take that one pendant that stands out to you because it says, I don't know, I love dinosaurs, or I love Jesus, or whatever it says on it. Take that pendant that stands out to you and create that listing for that pendant, and you will get sales on that one pendant. And do the same thing anywhere. Go to Big Lots. Okay, they have a pile of tablecloths, and you know that you're going to scan them and none of them are going to come up in Amazon's catalog. Create a listing for it. Create a bundle. Put a tablecloth together with napkins. Put the pendant together with a necklace chain. Do something that is new and unique. Yeah, you know.
The other thing you can try is stores that don't try the big retail stores. Try alternative stores.
Yeah, and that's a great tip as well. Like, do ethnic stores, do foreign stores, do very specific, like even somewhere like fabric stores. Find a unique type of fabric and create a listing. I'm curious about Nate Ridgway. He says that's a lot of work to make a little bit of money. Which do you mean, Nate? Do you mean scanning the stores, or scanning everything is a lot of money, or do you mean creating a product is a lot of money? Create a lot of time, a lot of work, because creating a product is not a lot of work. Like going to a store
creating a
and
listing,
picking out,
right?
Oh, Nate, yes, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. That's what I'm saying here. Scanning everything is a lot of work. Create listings for things. Like when I look at something and I go, oh, it's not in Amazon's catalog, I'm like, yes, I can create a listing for this, and no one will touch it. Yeah, and I'll do it right, and I'll put the keywords in that I know will make it sell, and I have that control and I have that power to create that listing. So I'm all about creating listings, learning to do them right. I think it is a really, really good way of doing things. There's nothing wrong with scanning, but I like scanning when you know there's a sale. Like I scan, you'll see me scanning in stores on Periscope. But I think, yeah, I think just scan when there's clearance or when you have a good idea about something. But scanning in the big box store
started, a little over 3 years ago, you can walk into any store, spend a good time scanning, and you find some decent products, some good margins. And since that time, it's gotten harder and harder and harder and harder.
It has. I think it has. And I think that the market has changed.
Yeah.
Particularly in groceries, particularly in places like Walmart. It has changed. You used to be able to walk into Target and scan anything, not create listings, just piggyback, and there were still good margins. But now there are so many there are so many sellers, and a lot of them are using they're using software to find the best deals. They're going direct to wholesalers. I find it easier creating listings, but I don't know. Bob's saying go to his sourcing talk. So your mileage may vary. We figure out our
Everyone's got different options.
Business models. There was a good question there. Quickly, Kingdom Carrier says, I would love to get my product onto, I think he means Shopify. Is it very busy as Amazon and eBay? Isaac, talk Shopify.
All right, Shopify. Is it busy? It's up to you. They basically supply the tools for you to create a store, and they'll tell you everything they can to help you bring traffic, but ultimately the traffic's up to you. And this is the difference. The two major things to know about is with Amazon, with eBay, you're selling on an existing marketplace. This is a place where people are browsing, they're walking through, and you can just list a product, and you'll have really good organic fun. People will find you organically. With the Shopify, it's your own system, basically your own site. You have to drive traffic to there. It's not a marketplace. It may be one day, but as of now, the responsibility of driving traffic is up to you. With that said, can you drive traffic to your site? Absolutely. And in fact, in some ways, you might have a bigger advantage doing that than actually listing the product on Amazon. In some ways, not, obviously there's pros and cons to both platforms. The biggest thing I'll tell you right now, when I got into web development, about 12 years ago, SEO, everything was SEO. Everything is search engine optimization. You have to be findable on Google. And you look for the golden keywords, and your goal is to hit front page. The minute someone types in a search for one of those keywords, you show up immediately. It's still a big thing, but social media has came in. Now you can drive traffic to your site with social media. Very, very powerful. And so, with these new tools, you got Facebook, you got Pinterest, of course, you got Twitter, and then there's a lot of other platforms that you can use to bring traffic to your site.
Yeah, and I think I liked your analogy of it's like with Amazon, you're kind of in a shopping mall. You're waiting for people to walk past and spot you, and there's a lot of traffic. With Shopify, you have to bring the traffic to you. So you kind of have to go and look for the people. And I love Facebook advertising just because Facebook is where the people are. So you go and you find the people and you suck them in and you say, come to my store, come to my store. And I think if you can learn to use either Pinterest or Facebook or Twitter effectively, you can go through the roof with Shopify. And Jesse's saying some great things there. They're your customers. They're not Amazon's customers. So all those rules that you have to abide by for Amazon go out the window when you're doing Shopify. You can send them emails, you can talk to them, you can have live chat on your screen so you can talk to your customers, you can retarget them, which means you put code on your website so you can kind of chase them around the web and chase them on Facebook and say, come back to our store. You can pick up abandoned
a lot more
carts.
options.
So if they change their mind on a purchase, you can go and say, no, come back. You forgot something. Come and buy this.
You can change your model to a subscription where people...
You can have a subscription model. That's huge. That's amazing. Jesse says upsell them. You can sell, you can send them coupons. Like there are so many more options with Shopify. So if you can grow into Shopify, brilliant. I mean, it's like a learning curve. Start with eBay, start with Amazon, just learn how to sell. And then once you learn how to sell, you can just keep growing and scaling, create your own bundles, create your products, create your listings, and then start putting them on your own website. And boom, you have a lot of power. So Isaac, talking of which, can I show what we've got for Christmas?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to have... Well, you're getting a preview. We're going to talk about this probably in treasure hunting and Blue Sky later on. And I think we're going to do a giveaway for this, so you can win one. But going up for sale later today is this very, very limited edition bundle from us. And we have got Naughty and Nice Coffee. Hey. So I don't know. Should we give one away now? No, I think we should do a giveaway now. Okay, so we need a question. Have you got a question, Isaac? Think of a question.
Gosh.
It's okay. Think of a question. You have to. Oh! I've got a question. All right, are you ready? First person who answers wins a bundle of coffee. Okay. The question is, what is on my mug?
Ooh.
Bonus points if you get the name. Sherry got it. Pony. No, Pony.
My little pony. Whoa, no, I think the Cook TV.
Oh, and Diana, but Diana wins everything. She wins all stuff all the time.
Starbucks.
Sherry,
does anyone have any idea where we bought the mug?
Wait, what? We're done. We're not giving any more away. You gotta wait. You gotta wait now. I'm gonna do another giveaway in the group. But I think I might do a bigger giveaway in the group. I think I might give away a bundle membership as well. Is that crazy? Is that crazy, Isaac? Okay. Sherry,
yes, you're out of your mind. What are you doing?
Sherry, send me a message with your address. I will send you a bundle of the Naughty and Nice coffee. So let me just tell you about the Naughty and Nice coffee. So this is Krampus coffee. And we had the idea, we thought we would do Krampus. And then we found out there was a Krampus movie coming out this week, and we had no idea, but we're kind of excited about that. So we have Krampus coffee, which is spicy cinnamon hazelnut. And then
Krampus is very scary.
The nice coffee. So we have naughty coffee and nice coffee. Whoops. And here is St. Nicholas.
Taking it old school.
Who is bringing you peppermint candy cane coffee. So we have Krampus and St. Nicholas, and that is our bundle of very limited edition coffee just for this Christmas. So we were going to put it on Amazon, but actually we decided it's going to sell out really fast. Yeah. So we're going to have a Shopify website up probably tomorrow, Isaac? Yeah. Okay. We'll have a Shopify website up tomorrow so you can buy it. Actually, I think we're going to sell this on Facebook. This is going to be our new product on the Facebook store. The original
idea was to have this as Shopify. And then we got an email the other day, or you got a message the other day, that you can sell directly on Facebook now.
Yeah. So this is pretty exciting, guys. You can now add a shop directly to your Facebook page. So I think this is going to be our experiment product. We're going to sell this on Facebook directly. So expect that tonight or tomorrow, and we'll do a giveaway as well. So Sherry wins the very first bundle, but you guys are getting a preview just before we put this up for sale. So we're only doing this month, up to Christmas. That's it. And no, you can't get two nices. You have to get it as a bundle. So you have to take Krampus and St. Nicholas, because it's all about like balance and yin and yang, and you have to have a bit of everything. All right, guys.
Krampus in the chest if you're worried.
Wait, what? Say that again.
You can lock the Krampus coffee chest, or say.
Oh, you can lock it away.
Yeah.
So if you're scared,
so he doesn't jump out of the.
It's related to you, Isaac. I see a bit of similarity there. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for our very first blab. Come and join us. We have a lot of places you can come and join us. I'm just going to post. Treasure hunting is like our main group. If you come there and talk to us there, you will find us all over everywhere else. Will t-shirts be available? That's a great idea. I don't know what happened to Jordan. I really wanted to talk to Jordan. We'll bring him on next week. I want to give a shout out to Jordan Colton before we go. I think he was supposed to be on, but we lost him, or I didn't get the email or something. But I think we'll get him on next week because he's doing some awesome things. You know, his book, his coloring book, the Night of the Living Dead coloring book, out of control. He's sold a bazillion of those. And he's just put out the most awesome Moscow Mule mug I have ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
In a wooden box, branded with, it's just super cool. Really I posted it on my Facebook earlier. But that guy is rocking white label and bundles and coloring books. So I think we'll bring him on next week. We're going to do this again next week, next Tuesday. Thank you so much, Diane, for joining us. You are a rock star. Congratulations, Sherry, for winning the bundle. Thanks to Jesse, to Bob, to Bobby, to everyone else Kimberly, who else came? I saw lots of people on. Thank you, everybody who came on and joined us. You all rock. Hopefully we'll do it all again next week. No teething troubles. We'll post the replay if we can on YouTube. We'll see if we can get that up as soon as possible. Have a great night, guys. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.